Join the thousands who've already become fans of the Big Ten Network on Facebook. Get programming information, play Big Ten trivia, and interact with other Big Ten fans. Sign up today for free at facebook.com/the Big Ten Network. It was written right. He just read it wrong. Welcome back to the Big Ten Women's Gymnastics Championships presented by Pure Silk. Mike Lederman along with Eddie Humphrey and Lise Ray. And look at this. Shante Taiki on the vault for Michigan State led the way for the Spartans.
Coming up big as the freshman leader, leading the way for the Spartans, trying to win one for Sparty.
And on the uneven bars, very, very strong effort from, well, three-way tie for their lead.
That's right. We see 3 9.85s from Big Blue. We could see Kylie Bottom in there, 9.3. She had that fall. I know Michigan was hoping for a big score from her. But 3 other 9.85s, her teammates really picked it up.
It could be worse if counting a 9.75, though. On the beam, Kristen Furukawa with a 9.9. Excellent work for the Gophers.
We saw her beautiful beam routine, almost flawless, real confident up there. It was a great score for them.
And Gabijan and Simbutis did fine work on the floor. Jessa Hansen, you know, no nose is good nose as far as she was concerned, but she really did well considering what she had to put up with.
That shows great leadership, especially in this championship time. Your teammate coming through with a bloody nose like that.
Okay, now it's starting to take shape. Michigan and Iowa. Look at this. The Hawkeyes in second place. Now remember, Penn State has not gone as many times, has not done as many events yet. But the key point here is that Illinois has fallen by the wayside, largely because of the injury to Melissa Fernandez. But even before that, Eddie and Elise, they were shaky to start.
They were. They got off to not their best start on floor and just haven't been able to capitalize on it today.
That's right. A championship like this, out of bounds, steps, wobbles, things like that are going to add up, and you're going to fall back in the rankings when you have those.
Oh, boy. Now, 6th rotation as we're getting ready. There's Melissa. Very disappointed. Obviously, as an upperclassman, she had such a great career to this point. She'll get a chance again.
Right there, still cheering on. It is so difficult. I can't explain.
Well, we'll show you how it happened. And I think, you know, you look at this closely as she's coming down the runway. She seems to grimace. Watch closely here on the vault.
Not really sure where it occurs. And she sticks the landing, really nails it, but as soon as she steps off, just something does not feel right.
Yeah, watching her come down, she looked like she was concerned, but boy.
And bad enough to take her out of the competition, and she's a tough athlete. You know she would be competing if she could. Must be pretty bad.
It looks like the right ankle or leg. We're not quite sure, but unfortunately enough to put her on crutches and take her out of this competition.
And of course, at issue now for her, the regionals and the national championships, but one step at a time. And we'll see what happens to Melissa.
That's right. Her teammates have big shoes to fill right now, trying to pick up for the score she would have posted.
All right, we go to the 6th rotation now. And again, Penn State will have events on both the 6th and 7th rotation. They will start on the vault this time. Michigan State goes to the uneven bars. Illinois will be on the beam where they need some big scores and they have to shuffle the lineup again. And Ohio State, which has had problems on the floor all season long, will be there now, but they have been putting together some good efforts for their home folks on the championship route. Bob Starkel getting his team ready for the beam. The Michigan fans anticipating or hoping for championship number 17 out of 19.
It's going to be close. It's going to be a dogfight here at the end.
All right, here's Nicole Cowart. And Suki, the accountancy major, on the beam where she's top 15. They use her to lead off and they risk lower scores for Nicole Cowart, sparking the rest of the team and setting a tone.
That's right. She's the first gymnast up on this apparatus. She's their first up, as I said, on their last event. So that all these routines for each individual gymnast right now are super critical. Illinois is probably not in the position that they want to be in, so each routine will count here. As you said, Mike, she's really going to set the tone for the rest of the balance beam rotation.
Well, it's interesting because coaches will tell you, yes, you risk being scored lower if you're a leadoff because the judges like to build up, as we know. But there is something to be said for getting everybody else pumped up to finish.
Absolutely, that is a big thing. Nice. She went standing back layout there. Very difficult skill to do when it's not followed by a back handspring in front of it.
Staying solid thus far.
She's doing a great job. Dismount left. Round off 1.5 stuck. Set a wonderful tone for this team right here.
Cowart's a senior. And this is her favorite event.
That's a Shushinova right there. We've seen it tonight actually on the floor exercise where you land on your stomach, but she does it on the balance beam here. Very difficult and a little bit painful skill.
How many hip replacements did Shushinova have? Oh my, yeah. There's the coaching staff. Bob Starkell again looking for the first Illinois Big Ten championship in 20 years, and doesn't look like it's going to happen this year. On the bars for Michigan State.
Big Tkachev right there. Directly to a Stradivac handstand.
Shanti Taiki, the freshman.
She's a little bit short of all her handstands the judges will take there. Front giant pirouette. Double back dismount. She rises nicely above that high bar. Takes a couple steps.
It's the event she's learning to be better on. It's her weakest event, but she certainly deported herself well on the uneven bars.
Not bad for her weakest event.
Here's this combination, front giant to a half pirouette directly into a double back. You can see how she's flipping above the high bar, very impressive.
Shanti Taiki. Well, she picked up a lot of experience this year as a freshman. Michigan State having a consistent meet as well. The real problems have come from gymnasts, from the leaders. You know, the problems that Illinois has had, the problems that Michigan's had with the fall.
That's right. That's the thing about gymnastics. You just never know.
Anything can happen, and it's going to come down to the last routine. You never know what's going to happen.
You're looking at Ohio State's Nicole Crowder as the Buckeyes are on the floor to finish their competition this year.
She's had a great floor exercise so far.
If I'm Kerry Fagan, I've got to be feeling very good about this team, the way it's come through. They lost 4 gymnasts to injury, never went through a single routine, and that's a lot, even for gymnastics.
And kudos to Ohio State. They've been competing with a lot of injuries, like you said. Many times this year have only been competing 7 athletes in a competition and putting up 4 all-arounders at every single meet.
Right, and they have 5 today, 5 all-arounders today.
You know, yesterday did not even practice because they needed to save their bodies for today's competition. Looks like a good plan.
Nicole Crowder, her effort there. Let's go. This is Danny Hoover. First time we're looking at Danny today from Penn State. Danielle Hoover, a junior from Hamburg, New York.
Only person doing this vault, the handspring front pike half.
Wow.
A lot going on there.
She's Steve Shepard's only healthy junior, by the way. And there's Danny. It's almost like waiting to hear the teacher give you your grade.
No, that's a tough moment.
9.6 for Danny Hoover.
What a unique vault.
Danny Hover, we should say. And Danielle Hover, a 9.6. Madison Merriam now.
Her season high on this event, a 9.875. Penn State looking for that big score right now. A lot of pressure for a freshman.
She's going to do a vault with that blind landing we've been talking about. Half twist.
Very nicely done.
Very nice. Good body position in the air. Nice distance away from the horse.
Crowder, a 9.75 on the floor. Here's Merriam.
See how straight she is coming onto the horse, how her legs are together. All of that stuff counts. And just a baby hop to the side. That was a nice vault.
Great vault.
Penn State needs to put on a charge. Remember, they're going to finish on the bars while Michigan is right next to them on the beam in the last rotation. On the floor for Ohio State, here is Kristen Perhach. Kristen from Naperville, Illinois, and Neuqua Valley High School, criminology and psychology major.
That was a double tuck we saw.
This has been a tough event for Ohio State this season, and is an event that's especially hard on any injuries that you have, but they are doing a great job so far. They're sort of feeding off each other's energy.
And Perhach has seen her role expand as other injuries have taken different gymnasts out of the lineup, and Kristen has filled in very, very ably. Moved up to a 14th rank in the conference on the floor. Sorry, Elise.
That's okay. I was just going to comment on her Wolf 1.5 there. Back into the corner, an element that gives her some bonus for her 10-0 star value. Very clean pass right there, double twist.
Ohio State putting on a strong performance for their home crowd.
Another strong floor performance by Ohio State.
Kristen Perhach.
Penn State 98.325, Illinois 145.925, Iowa 147.050, Michigan.
That's a good feeling over there by the Buckeyes.
Minnesota 146.575.
Maddie Merriam 9.75 for her vault for Penn State.
No flash photography, please.
Now let's take a look at the all-around competition so far. Sarah Curtis leading now. Again, this is through 5 rotations. Sarah Curtis of Michigan, Gabesian and Sambutis of Iowa, 2-3 right there.
I'm talking about you never know what's going to happen in gymnastics. Those are some of the names that we didn't necessarily seem to think would be in the all-around competition, but here they are doing a wonderful job tonight, getting up there in the ranks.
Sarah Schmidt on the beam for Illinois, again with Melissa Fernandez, the All-American, out. Illinois has had to scramble their lineup.
Another event that Sarah is just beautiful at, her extension and her execution and her dance. Here's her flight series. Back handspring, layout, step out.
She won the floor here a year ago, and there are her numbers. But she went out of bounds this year, and she wasn't happy about that.
Having to go through what this Illinois team is going through tonight is very difficult. It just takes effect on the entire team. And they're trying so hard to stay up with their attitudes and their spirits, but you know they're all feeling very hard for Melissa.
They're doing a great job right now of coming through on beam.
They really are. Just great competitors. They're fighting for everything. Gainer back layout, step out. Very nice. She caught herself right there on the landing.
So she wants to be a physical therapist. And I'm sure she's seen every injury in the book being a gymnast.
Well, speaking about the injuries, Penn State went into Ohio State and lost a gymnast on the first rotation, and it really played havoc with everybody's mind, and they lost to the Buckeyes.
And that's tough to come back from, but they've done a great job about coming back from the loss here.
Back on the vault, let's go to Sharia Musser.
Yurchenko full. Very nice straight body in the air.
That's right. The judges could probably hardly take anything right there in the air. The only thing they're going to take on is the landing, the slight hop.
Should score well.
9.8 for her. Here is Nicole Curler on the uneven bars, Michigan State.
Big release move. She does what's called a hinger, but she does it in between the high and the low bar, which is an interesting spin on the skill. Two giants before her dismount. Double layout.
Wow.
Yes, stuck landing for State.
Junior national beam champion, a champion on the bars as well.
Having a tremendous competition.
And here is Brandy Personette, who had her problems and probably will cost her the all-around, but here she goes.
Same vault as Natalie Bilstein. Yurchenko 1.5. Big vault. Has scored a 10-0 twice this year on that event.
9.85.
Like
for
Eddie
Brandy
said earlier,
Personette.
she does not hold back in this competition. This is a very important night for her, and she just goes all out for it.
Kelsey Joannidis of Illinois. She is the sophomore who was a Big Ten champion last year on the vault. Here she is on the balance beam, where she finished second a year ago in the championships.
Beautiful.
She's just a sophomore. She's going to be an all-around threat the next couple of years, too.
Definitely.
She's looking to keep the flow of Illinois' consistent beam work so far.
Showing a lot of poise today.
Another thing Bob Starkell has done, he's recruited a lot outside of Illinois. Many more out-of-state gymnasts than he has than in-state ones.
Which is not a rare thing for coaches to just recruit from all over the country, really.
She's looking very calm up there. She just has a couple elements left. Cartwheel, gainer full dismount.
To pick up on what you said, Bob was talking about how he's expanded his recruiting. And the last few years with a consistent assistant coaching base, they've really been able to widen their nets. And Kelsey Joannidis from Frederick, Maryland is a good example of that.
A great finish for her on beam today.
Getting down to the end of the sixth rotation. Let's go to the uneven bars moments ago. This is the senior Rochelle Robinson for Michigan State.
And I love the power, the amplitude that she brings this event.
Yes, as you can see right there in her reverse hack, she gets way above that high bar.
One of her best events. She's gone 9-9 here.
You see those ankles taped, getting ready for the dismount. Full twisting double tuck.
Oh yeah, she likes that.
That was a very clean routine.
You know how good she must feel? All the injuries, all the problems, and look at this. She sticks it. Rochelle Robinson now. Allison Buckley on the beam.
Nice press handstand there for her mount. Still fighting for that all-around competition, and of course for her team.
And she's the last one up in this rotation, so the entire arena has their eyes on her.
That's right, and she's the last competitor for Illinois on their last event. Just
And
goes
that's
off crooked.
unfortunate.
Sure has been a night of surprises tonight. A lot of the girls we thought were going to be super solid had some mistakes. Allison usually nails that flight series.
And at least you've been in this situation where it's all eyes on you. You're the only one competing. What's your advice to the young gymnasts out there who may face this opportunity in the future?
The magic key, Eddie, is self-talk. If you're up there and you are rehearsing your beam routine in your head and actually saying it to yourself in your head, you can zone out everything else. It really does wonders. It's a hard thing to teach and it's a hard thing to master, but if you can do it, you feel like it's just you and the beam up there, and that's the trick.
Well, with Melissa Fernandez out and the fall from Allison Buckley, this is not going to be where Illinois wants to be.
With all these little unseen hiccups throughout the competition, it's really going to be interesting to see how the team results end up, and the individual might be what we did not expect in the beginning.
All right, recovered well, good landing, but a disappointing effort in her own mind, of course, from Allison Buckley. Now back to Taylor Jones, Ohio State, finishing up her floor routine.
Taylor just finished an impressive first pass, very cleanly landed.
A little Prince mix going on.
That's right, I think he's a crowd favorite. Ohio State has had a really great run on floor, an event that has given them some trouble in the past. And Taylor here is looking to put up a nice score to finish on.
Something else to think about, Iowa finishes on vault, you know, and And hey, you know, the Hawkeyes have been surprising everybody.
Yeah, they have. They're ending on a great event. You just have one skill to perform. Hopefully you knock it out, and who knows? It's a sport where anything can happen.
Buckley with the fall of 9.3 off the beam. And this is the first tumbling pass from Taylor Jones.
And she struggled here. Just doesn't bend her knees enough. Has to bound out of her double pike.
It was an excellent fight there. She kept her chest up enough to keep her hands off the floor.
All right, one rotation to go. Stay tuned. We're going down to the wire. We'll be back. Back at St. John Arena with 6 rotations down. The 2010 Women's Gymnastics Championships presented by Pure Silk. Penn State on the vault. Brandy Personette showing why she is a 2-time all-around champion. Great vault there, 9.85.
9.85, great score for Brandy. She's had outstanding competition tonight for her individual scores, yes, but also for her team that's really fighting for the championship here tonight.
All right, moving to the uneven bars. Michigan State with a wonderful routine at the end from Rochelle Robinson.
Curler and Robinson both going big for MSU. Again, trying to win one for Sparty, and what a way to go out.
And on the beam, a couple of strong efforts. Kelsey Joannidis and Sam Perino, both 9.85.
Yes, for all that has happened tonight for Illinois. Look at that, 9.8 straight down. Allison Buckley with the fall, but they can toss that score out. So they have a great beam score there.
Yeah, very lucky that they didn't have another fall, too. And on the floor, Rebecca Best with a 9.85. You know, she feels good about that because it's been a rough season for her, too, at Ohio State.
Again, putting up the best score for Ohio State, leading and following up by Colleen Dean scoring a 9.8. A little bit rough for Ohio State, but hanging in there.
Okay, catch this. Here's the deal. Michigan State, Ohio State, when you think about it, Michigan now and Penn State, these are the teams 1-2, all right, because Michigan State has finished, Illinois has finished 195, good score, but it's not going to win. Michigan and Penn State, folks, it's about 0.275 difference.
It's so tight right now, but you cannot count out Iowa. They're on vault. Anything can happen. Crazier things can happen. This rotation, this is it. This is for the title. And as you can see right there, the Minnesota fans, it is going to be crazy in here in this last rotation.
Well, I think, you know, we don't want to bury the lead here. Of course, the lead is Michigan and Penn State. 3 years ago, down the last rotation, Michigan was up 0.35 on Penn State. Finished on the vault, Penn State on the bars, and Michigan won by 1/10. Now, Michigan's going to end up on the beam, which is their best event. Penn State's going to be on the uneven bars where they're sort of middling in the conference. So it should really go down to the wire here.
It should, and this is March Madness right now.
That's the beautiful thing about gymnastics. You just never know, and the underdogs can certainly end up on top.
And you gotta love it.
So we set the last rotation for you. Iowa on the vault, and the Hawkeyes are in 3rd place, which would probably surprise just about everybody. Penn State, as we told you, on the uneven bars. Michigan on the beam. Minnesota will finish on the floor. So there's your scenario. And Michigan and Penn State are right next to each other as they compete. And you know somebody from either side's looking at the other. Let's take a look. Oh, this is Samantha Perino. We haven't seen Sam yet, the junior, and this is her beam routine, which tied her for tops on the team, 9.85. Watch her.
One of those scores that is just very impressive, 9.85. Great for the team. Could put her up there in the beam rankings individually. Looking very solid in that flight series right there. Just handling all this pressure and all this adversity very nicely. Very impressive work by the Illini on balance beam. Tough event to end on.
And for her, a new personal best, career high for Samantha Perino, a junior from Yorktown, Virginia. Bob Starkell calls it a breakout year for her. And it's only recently that her balance beam scores have counted. And boy, have they counted today.
And what great timing for it.
That concludes the 3-minute touch work. Judges, please take control of your events. Ladies and gentlemen, please note that on vaulting rotations, the athletes are allowed 2 vaults over the table, regardless of the time they make on the card. Once each
Back gainer, dismount, stuck landing. That was an excellent, solid routine for her. You can see her expression there. Very proud.
And there is Steve Shepard, Penn State coach. Season number 18. A native of Hinsdale, Illinois. Three-time Big Ten Coach of the Year, Beverly Plocky. We know her pedigree. 21st season, came out of West Virginia. And began coaching Michigan in 1990. Since then, or since 1992, 16 championships. Can she nail down number 17? Okay. Let's go to Sarah Curtis for Michigan on the beam.
And here we go.
The workhorse, as she's described by Coach Plocky. Redshirted as a freshman and in the spotlight very much now.
We're talking about that first athlete up on the apparatus. And it's been kind of a funny competition tonight. And ending on the balance beam is quite the challenge all in itself. She must be feeling a lot of pressure up there, but she's handling it beautifully. Looks very calm. As you can see there, one arm back handspring beautifully landed. Little smile there for the judge. Just a dismount left here for Sarah.
A double back. This is a very risky dismount. Oh, wow.
Okay, way to open up for Michigan.
Gotta love her expression when she sticks that landing. We saw a very impressive double back stuck by Hori Gabijian as well, but here we go. Sarah Curtis, one arm back handspring.
And now, as you look at Sarah Curtis, second in the all-around a couple of years ago, six-time Gymnast of the Week. Heading for med school, will have to wait.
That was a home run.
That was an outstanding meet routine, and she is done for the night, so she can sit back and cheer on her teammates and feel very, very proud for her competition tonight.
She had an incredible meet tonight.
All right, Penn State. Madison Merriam. Remember, the Nittany Lions have never won this competition since coming into the Big Ten in 1992.
And the freshman. Beautiful lines. And this is where we talked about her height is such an advantage. She's so long, nailing those handstands. A Horkina, we saw Maureen Moody perform that. Blind change, full pirouette, double tuck. A big routine.
Big routine.
Penn State answers.
Looks like we're going routine here. Michigan, Penn State.
Way to step up as a freshman.
Sarah Curtis at 9.9 on the beam, by the way, for Michigan. We'll show you Merriam's dismount here for Penn State.
See, she's not giving anything away right here.
Going for the stoik.
So we told you, Sarah Curtis leading off at 9.9 for Michigan. And waiting for Merriam's score.
And that's the most nerve-wracking part, is waiting for your score. At this point, it's all in the judges' hands. You never know what they're going to do for you.
It is. At that point, your routine is done, and all you can do is wait to see what they're going to do with it.
Well, let's take a look at the all-around. Rebecca Best from Ohio State has moved into first place. Is that right? Nicole and Brandy Personette will be on the unevens, but
39.275. That's a really strong all-around score.
And look at, of course, Nicole Curler, Shanti Taiki, the freshman, the other freshman from Michigan State, and Sarah Schmidt, Nicole Cowart Buckley of Illinois, Taylor Jones from Ohio State, along with her teammate Christine Perhach. And here is Brandy Personette, who has had a good meet, but for her, look at those scores.
Very solid all the way across the board. Trying to put down a huge routine for Penn State right now. And I know she has waited for this moment for 4 years with the opportunity to win her first Big Ten championship.
That's right, and it is right in their fingertips, and she has every opportunity right here to put up a big score for Penn State.
They're going to need it because Michigan is knocking down the beam. Here's Personette.
Line change full.
This is probably her least favorite event, and certainly the one that she does, the only one that she is not #1 in the conference on.
Well, she is getting after it. Full twisting double layout.
Well, take that.
Wow. It's lighting up in here tonight. A lot of stuck landings.
All I can say is wow.
This is going head to head.
This is.
I just am seeing stuck landing. Michigan, Penn State.
Her teammate Merriam got a 9.85. Now we go on the beam. This is Michigan. This is Jordan Sexton, and we've seen Jordan before with the 9.85 on the bars, the 9.8 on floor. And we'll watch her here because she's ranked 9th in the conference on the beam.
And she is just exquisite on this event. You could see her preparation before she even mounted the balance beam, the focus and determination in her face. She is ready to get the job done here for blue.
And again, Elise, you talked about earlier her lines, her toe point, how straight her knees are.
And there you jinxed it.
Just a small bobble there.
Personette, a 9.875 on the uneven bars for Penn State.
There's that sheep jump that we've seen a little bit earlier where you lose sight of the beam and then resight the beam and land. Extremely difficult, especially when you're super nervous up there. It's been a great routine so far by Jordan. Just the smallest hop on the dismount. That's going to put up a nice solid score.
Jordan Sexton for Michigan. Here's a veteran performer, Alexandra Brockway from Penn State.
A great bar swinger.
Well, she's going to have to be. This is her event, All-American a year ago.
That's right. Penn State is really counting on every routine right here. Big scores needed.
Nice, very nice.
See her really going after those handstands, all those details. She sure is.
Boy, this is two heavyweights going at it, boy.
Blow for blow.
You bet.
She nails it. The crowd's going to go crazy.
She has got it.
Alex Brockway.
She has had just a beautiful routine up to this point.
Here's that dismount.
And just ends it. Really, really nice. All right.
Let's go back to the beam. This is Katie Zorales from Michigan. Katie, you see both the ankles taped. 9.75 on the vault.
This is her first Big Ten competition, let's remember, and she has sure come into a heated one tonight.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen,
she's in a tough position being later in the lineup, so her score really needs to be big, really needs to count for Michigan.
Had mono early in the year, so it was tough working her into the lineup, but here she is, healthy, more or less.
As healthy as you can be as a gymnast, I guess.
Oh, that's pretty healthy right there.
Right there.
And that was moments ago. The score for Katie Zorales, 9.90. Here's Iowa sitting in third place. Ulrika Vision on the vault. Oh, not what she wanted. Not what she wanted.
Way too much power there, and that's going to be a good 3 to 4 tenths in that landing.
You can see she's not happy with it, but you got to give it to her today for the effort and performance that she has put up.
Can Iowa hold on third? Now here's Kylie Boderman. We saw the fall on the uneven bars. Kylie, the all-around is gone, but the team thing, of course, is the big thing. The three-time All-American now.
It is the big thing, and in her mind, she wants to put up a big score for the team. Team is definitely first in her mind right now. And she's outstanding on this event.
Her teammates cheering her on.
Looking to recover from that fall on bars with a solid performance here on beam. Just looks extremely confident up there. She's really attacking the event.
Risky move.
Front tuck, no problems there. Big dismount. Backhand spring lock, step out right into a back full. Beautiful, beautiful routine from Kylie.
This is insane.
All right, 9-8-0, by the way, on the uneven bars for Alex Brockway. Now let's go to the uneven bars again.
The freshman star.
Look at those big scores she has posted so far in this competition.
Soraya Musser.
She has such beautiful gymnastics going right at the handstands.
That's right. Complete vertical in that handstand. The judges love it.
Very nice staccato.
And just the dismount left here. Looking really good so far. Landing will be important. There she goes, the tiniest of hops. Another great routine for Penn State.
You know, we have seen some incredible freshman performances this year. Here is Rebecca Simbutis on the ball for Iowa. Rebecca, of course, the junior, and she's had a fine meet, really doing well, the booster team.
Look at that.
And that'll go 9.8. Back to the beam very quickly. Kelsey Knutson next up for Michigan. We're live.
Beautiful mount, beautiful, beautiful mount. Haven't seen that yet today. And just seeing that type of artistry on the balance beam is so refreshing. She's the final competitor here for Michigan.
Bottomans, Kylie's routine, 9.90.
Well deserved.
Knutson, the anchor for Michigan.
Kelsey has some very unique things in this beam routine that really make her stand out as just an exquisite beam worker. Being in the anchor position right now for Michigan. Last event, last routine up there. Is a lot of pressure on her. Look at that handstand, beautiful.
This has just been an unbelievable competition. I don't know about you guys, but my heart is pumping like crazy
Me
right
too.
now.
The tension
really
is so thick here in the arena.
And both the events side by side, and they're going at each other. Each one.
Two
Yes.
juggernauts.
No one has missed.
It's just routine after routine. Solid scores, both from Michigan
been
and Penn State.
unbelievable.
This is incredible.
Forget a 10th. This could be decided by 100th. Remember?
Ollie Foreman going at it again. Another one. Another one. These two teams are unbelievable.
This energy in the arena right now is unbelievable.
Let's go to the floor right here on for Minnesota. This is Kendra Elm. And the Gophers again putting together a nice meet. Kendra, the junior from Plymouth, Minnesota. Went into biomedical engineering for a major, found she had to cut back on her practice time, and Meg Stevenson said, yep, you can do it. And it hasn't seemed to affect her.
It's the beauty of having a coach that truly understands the definition of being a student athlete. You're right about that, Mike. Doesn't seem to be affecting her at all. She's looking good so far in this floor X.
We had a ball player cut practice to go to a live chamber music concert, and the coach said to him, where's your sense of values? Kelly Knutson on the beam, by the way, from Michigan. 9.9. They're firing 9.9 like they're free.
Unbelievable. And a strong finish from Minnesota on the floor. Every team giving it everything they have today.
They certainly are.
Kendra Elm, junior from Plymouth.
What an unbelievable competition. And early.
All right, now let's go to Penn State on the uneven bars. This is Natalie Edel, who has a world-class routine, says Steve Shepard, and one of her elements named after our analyst, Elise Ray. Elise, why don't you take us through this one? Forget the modesty.
My pleasure.
You got a 10-0 on this, so go, go, go.
It's extremely exciting for me, actually, to see that skill done. It is just a pleasure, it really is. And she does it so beautifully. She not only does it, but does it so well.
Look at that.
And Edel, you told us when it was,
9925,
right?
look at that.
That's too low. That should be a 10.
9925, okay. All right, she's first in the conference along with Boderman, and Boderman fired up a 9.9 for Michigan. So, while they're tabulating the scores for Michigan and Penn State, let's go to Alexis Russell from Minnesota in the hunt for the all-around. Here she is on the floor. Her final performance in her final championships for the Big Ten.
Right, she's the final competitor out there tonight. She's really got the combination of both beautiful choreography and very, very dynamic tumbling.
She's trying to capitalize off of her teammate last year. Carmelina Carbajal was the Big Ten champion, trying to follow in her footsteps. Whip to a double pike. We saw that once before. Very nicely done. And earlier, you mentioned that these teams are getting ready for the regional championships. I got to tell you, if I'm any other team from another conference, I do not want to have a team from the Big Ten at my regional. Every single team in this conference is very dangerous. I think the scores are a little deceiving because they're a little bit tighter in this region. But if I'm any other team in the country watching this right now, I'm hoping I don't see any of these teams in my region.
Well, things will also tighten up when they go to conference competition in 2013, where each team will meet every other team. And that's 3 years down the road. Now the final results are being tabulated, and Michigan and Penn State going to be very, very close.
It's a nail biter.
Whip back 1.5 twist.
And Iowa and Minnesota for third is going to be close too.
A great finish, a great competition for Alexis Russell. What a way to end your 4 years at Minnesota.
And what a competitor she has been for that team.
Great job.
Meg Stevenson gives her a hug. Everybody has been competing. We are through all the rotations. All right, we'll add up the scores, be back with the results and more when we return here to St. John Arena. Back in Columbus, Ohio on the Ohio State University campus for the Big Ten Women's Gymnastics Championships presented by Pure Silk Shave Cream for legs like silk. Try Pure Silk, a new rust-proof aluminum cans. Mike Lederman, Elise Ray, Eddie Humphrey back with you, and the competition is finished. And take a look at the final results. The margins are narrow, but the results, well, let's see. Final results coming up, and it's Michigan again. 196.9. Penn State coming in second. And look, you know, Eddie, that's a win for Iowa, where the Hawkeyes come in third, followed by Michigan State, Minnesota, Illinois, Ohio State. But for the 17th time in 19 years, guess what? It's the Wolverines. They're the Big Ten champions.
Unbelievable job by Michigan today, winning 4 in a row. The coaching staff has done an incredible job with this team to be consistent at this level for that long. Another great championship for Michigan. And what better to come in and do it on enemy territory in Ohio State.
It's always the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry. Well, here we are, Michigan, the champions again. Coach Beverly Plotke is with Elise Ray.
Bev, what did you feel going into the last event? We were feeling the heat over there, sitting in the commentating seat. How did you feel? What did you tell the girls?
You know, I was confident. We've been doing really good beam in the gym. We've been competing for beams really well. I knew they were confident, so I have to admit I was nervous, but I was also confident. So
anything special you told the girls, beam being a tough event to end on?
I just told them they needed to believe in themselves and they needed to go out there and be aggressive and not hold back.
Thank you, Bev. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, Elise, thank you. Thank you, Beverly Plocky. Congratulations. We'll come back and wrap it up right here at Ohio State. Back at Ohio State, the site of the women's 2010 Big Ten Women's Gymnastics Championships. Michigan, the winner again. And the all-around results, Brandy Personette of Penn State wins her third in 4 years at Penn State. Sarah Curtis of Michigan second. The freshman Musser of Penn State is third. And let's take a look at our Verizon Wireless athlete of the meet. She is Brandy Personette of Penn State, the three-time Big Ten all-around champion, finishing up as a senior with another all-around victory. Brandy Personette from Penn State. Now let's take a look at our Pure Silk Performance Award. Sharia Musser of Penn State, the freshman of the year. Brandy, again, her second time as Gymnast of the Year from Penn State. And the Coach of the Year shared by Bob Starkell of Illinois and Bev Plocky, the winning coach from the University of Michigan. Well, certainly some surprises. Illinois finishes down low. Iowa finishes high. Michigan the winner. Eddie and Elise, your final comments?
Wow.
Yes,
what
wow
a
is right.
competition. That was great. It was intense. It had everything. Drama, big scores.
It really came right down to the wire, and that's what you want in a competition, is it to come down to the last event, last routines, and it's the true meaning of competition and of competitors, both for Michigan and Penn State.
And the beautiful thing was that every team brought their A game today. There wasn't one team that wasn't out of this. I mean, everyone came to play. Everyone nailed it.
And Michigan's the winner. So that's it from the 2010 Women's Gymnastics Championships here in Columbus. The winning team, the University of Michigan, all-around winner Brandy Personette. Don't forget the men's championships next weekend, April 2nd and 3rd. For Eddie Humphrey and Elise Ray, I'm Mike Liederman. So long from Columbus.